Martin Luther King said that we should judge a person by the content of their character rather than by the color of their skin. This is wisdom. Jesus Christ says, "You will know them by the fruit that they produce." The Bible goes on to say, "You will know them by the words that they use." In Deuteronomy, God says, "Behold, look, for I have set both life and death in your mouth. Choose life." The words that you use proclaim either life or they proclaim death. Death, the words of death are easy and they are natural. You don't have to try. There is no effort required on your part. You will naturally mock, complain, incessantly complain and mock, tear down and destroy. This is a thing that comes natural to people. On the other hand, it takes effort. You have to apply your mind in order to discover life. What you value has been set in your mouth. The words that you use proclaim who you are. The words that you use proclaim which house you belong to. If you belong to the house of light, or if you belong to the house of darkness. The house of light is wisdom, knowledge, understanding. The house of darkness is destruction and mockery and hate and tearing down. I'd like for you to consider two women. The first woman that I'm going to talk about is a woman who belongs to the house of light. I want to give you a name to this woman, just so that you'll have a face. This particular type of woman, I should say. Think of Margaret Thatcher. Here is a woman who is fully capable of leading men. God has given her her position. It's a position of authority. It's a position of power. And she uses her power and authority in wisdom. She's the type of woman who is fully capable of balancing between being a woman and leading men. She has a place. It's not to say that she leads all men, but she has a clear place. If you have wisdom, you will understand. If you want understanding, understand. In the other house, the house of darkness, you have a woman. And I'd like to give you a name so that you have a way of thinking of this woman. Her name is Oprah Winfrey. This is a stupid woman. The Bible refers to her as a foolish woman, or rather that type of woman would be considered a foolish woman, for she has lined her life up with the wisdoms and knowledges of this world, which are polar opposite of the wisdoms of God. This is a woman who has power and authority, and she gains and keeps her authority by using her fingernails. She digs her fingernails deeply into the flesh of both men and women. You have a choice. God has given everyone the right to free speech. We have the right to free speech. But that does not mean that you can force someone else to listen to you. If you force a person or hold them hostage to listen to you, you have become an evildoer. In other words, if a person wants to listen to death and destruction and mockery and hate, they have the right to do so. If a person wants to listen to life, knowledge, truth, understanding, they have the right to do so. Consider the Oprah Winfrey type of woman. Do you remember a couple of years ago the damage and destruction that she caused to the Apple industry? When she had caused so much damage and destruction, the Apple industry rightly sued her for slander, for she caused a tremendous damage to the industry. When she was brought before the judges, she put paint on her face, and she put a big smile on her face, and then she uses the words, well, golly, I'm just a woman. I'm just a girl. I didn't know any better. It's not my fault. I'm just a girl. That is a typical stupid woman. She will tear down and destroy, and then she will not take responsibility for her own actions. Now, she was able to get off, and she was dismissed of any charges of wrongdoing because there was another woman of the same class that was sitting on the judge's bench. Now, the interesting thing about this particular type of judge is that sometimes this judge is a woman, and sometimes this judge is a man. A man that falls into the woman class is called a eunuch. For that type of man has given his authority and his allegiances to the stupid woman class of woman. If you have understanding, understand. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. But where does the heart get its information? The heart gets its information from the mind. Every person on earth has been given 5 senses. The sense of sight, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, the sense of sound, and the sense of touch. These senses are common to all people. The information that you put into your mind produces a harvest. That harvest, or the field, is your heart. The harvest is what you say, what you speak, what you value is known. You will know a person by the fruit that they produce. Now you are capable of understanding which house it is that you belong to. You have a custom. This custom is to say, have a nice trip, or have a nice day, or how are you? It's a very silly custom. I don't understand it because the words are so empty. However, understand this. Women who fall in the Oprah class, the Oprah Winfrey class, know exactly what they're doing. And they are going down a road, and they want to take as many people down that particular road as they possibly can. If you desire to go with them, all I have to say is, have a nice trip, and goodbye. The choices you make are the choices that you make. Whichever house it is that you will belong to will be because of the choices that you have made. I would urge you, though, instead of using the empty words of how are you and have a nice day, use the words, who are you? Or even better, who am I? Just ask yourself the question, who am I? Look at the words that you say on a daily basis. The words that come out proclaim who you are. Death and destruction comes natural to people. It requires effort to fill your mind with things of life, knowledge, understanding. You must apply yourself. If you do not want to apply yourself, that is your choice. But you cannot prevent someone else who wants to apply themselves. If you prevent someone else who desires knowledge and understanding, you are an evildoer. The same goes in the other way. If you try to prevent someone who desires mockery and hate and scoffing, you too are an evildoer. A person has a right to make up their own mind, whichever way they want to go. Do not oppress and do not hinder. Instead, just look to yourself and care for your own soul. For it is your soul that will either suffer the consequences or reap a good harvest. That is a decision that you will have to discuss between you and God.